Blessings and welcome. I am Tuesday May Thomas, and this is your weekly tarot energy forecast for August 19th through August 26th of 2017. I use the Osho Zen Tarot, and I'm so grateful for you to join me today, and thank you, all my new subscribers and visitors. If you like these messages, please do subscribe, and especially because this fall I will be releasing my novel, The Reiki Apprentice, which is a true life story all about my story and my comeuppance with Reiki and all of my healing that I went through in order to heal my life. I've learned how to heal my life by using Reiki and applied metaphysics. If you're interested in what that means, please do subscribe and stay tuned. I will be breaking all that down over these months to come. And I'll also have a few small ebooks that I'm giving away, small meaning mini ebooks. One titled The Higher Self, and one, the beginning of a book series called The Nowosphere, Understanding Your Spiritual Sensitivity, and along with energy metaphysical tools so that you can learn how to navigate your sovereignty in this 3D. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take a nice breath and begin to shuffle the cards, calling in our angels, our guides, divine loved ones. Oh, there's a whole bunch that just fell out. We'll definitely use those. So thank you, our angels. And I pray that love and light enter. Oh, here we go. A whole bunch just fell out. Enter this deck, enter this reading. Speak through me and to all those that are divinely guided to watch this message, even if it's just for a portion or for the whole message. May we all receive what we need from this. May we get a glimmer, a nugget, or a whole big, beautiful cornucopia platter of divine insight, downloads, and sweet, sweet Holy Communion and communication from the highest, highest love and light, and we thank you. So let's see which cards already fell out. Almost enough for a whole reading. Let's see. But not quite. Okay. So we need 2 or 3 more. So we have 6 here. Let's see. Let me just make sure none other... No, we're in the clear. Okay. Let's go ahead and see what else wants to offer itself to us. And we thank you so much, all those guides that work with us, those divine light beings, those totems, ascended masters, angels, loved ones, loved pets that have passed from this life. We bless you and we thank you, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you so much for the divine downloads, the guidance that you serve us in truly serving you, in serving the highest good, in serving the highest love and light of this universe. Okay, there we go. We had a few more poppers. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. So let's see. So as we get started, we have 4 more. Okay. So as we set these up, it's very, very interesting right away to look at some themes that have been going on for a while. And really, what even just came up last week, even though we shuffled the cards, and I do shuffle them before I shuffle with you during these recordings, so it's so interesting when similar cards pop up again. So remember last week, we had aloneness. We had aloneness. And this is the Hermit. This is the energy of you doing your path for you. And it's a very, very powerful journey that you take. Remember those old, I don't know if you're old enough, but there used to be these TV shows on called Kung Fu. And it was really just about this lone person's journey through their life and the people, the places, the relationships, the situations they would get into. But they always traveled alone, and how they would navigate and discern from that soul space of oneness, of being true to themselves, of really honoring and practicing integrity and authenticity with themselves. And that's the journey we've been on, and we're going to continue being on during this Mercury retrograde, during this whole month of August, really. And remember this from last week, and again, I will put a link. That's what it is, a link here to last week's reading. So in case you missed it, you can check it out. And the miser is all about that part of ourselves that holds back from really truly shining our light, where we are withholding We are withholding a certain amount of love. We are withholding a certain amount of our of the gift that we have, the gifts that we have, that we know we are here to share. Okay, so again, though last month part of the theme was using this time of the retrograde to discern what gifts are yours and that you want to keep sacred and holy to yourself, and what gifts are those that you are ready to share with the world. Because, just because you're very good at doing a lot of different things doesn't mean you have to do it all and feel overwhelmed and pressured that you have to serve everyone and be everything for everyone. If that dynamic is going to happen, it will be of the highest order and it will happen naturally. That is nothing that you have to do to try to figure and to make shape-shift happening. Shape-shifting at its naturalist happens simply by pure nature's design. So getting ourselves really out of the ego of thinking, I have to be this, I have to do that, and so because I feel so overwhelmed, I have to hold on and I don't want to share anything because I'm just too overwhelmed and freaked out. So no. Remember, meditate. And we have this existence card. Every reading, some card comes up that embodies that the stillness and the being with nature, or the connecting with source, with what is larger than ourselves. But that's in a while. That's towards the end. We'll get back to that. Now, on either side of the miser and of aloneness, though, are these massive cards, playfulness and breakthrough. So, again, this Mercury period is definitely about us revisiting, reevaluating, rediscerning, redefining, reviewing those choices and those things, those people, places, relationships, jobs, careers, the new website, the new, like right now, I'm editing my books. I'm going through and I'm editing right during this time. I'm not trying to write the book right now. I'm just editing. I'm reviewing and flushing out and seeing, are there any last minute little shifts and things? Do I want to rewrite my author bio? Is there anyone I forgot to thank in the acknowledgments? These kinds of things. And so like that, this is what this time period is for, okay? It's a time to review. And as you review and consider what you're going to hold back with, what you're going to keep sacred for yourself, and what you are ready to give and to share unto others, right? You're going to be very clear on that through honoring a solo path, your divine path, being alone, making those choices for yourself. What happens is this massive empowerment that you lead yourself through. Because what you realize, when you do realize that you don't have to take yourself so seriously, and you can keep some of the beautiful gifts to yourself, and you don't have to exhaust yourself and give it all away constantly. Just because you can do many things well, you don't have to do it all the time. Hallelujah! The breakthrough happens. And suddenly there's this liberation and this freedom and this huge amount of energy that upsurges into your third chakra, where you're like, okay, I get it now. I see things differently, and the truth has always been here. It's always been here for me, but now I see it. I get it. And now I'm ready to share. And playfulness is all about opening the heart, being light, sharing, sprinkling your love and your light everywhere. Just being it. Like if you're a singer, you're just like do 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 do, like in the shopping market, in where, at the gas station, do 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 do. Like you're not even thinking about it. It's just natural. If you're a landscaper, as you're driving through town, you're envisioning your creative capabilities of like how you might restore this park or this area or this whatever. If you are a veterinarian, maybe you're looking at animals and you're sending love to them, or you're thinking how you might be of service to them. It's just so many infinite ways, creative ways, that you can begin to embody in a playful way of just finally not taking yourself so seriously. Believe me, my whole life I've been very serious about who I am, what I'm here to do, and all that. And I'll tell you a secret. This last few weeks, I had the most beautiful peeling away, if you will, from doing the work, meditating, just living a spiritual life. And the most beautiful thing happened, whereby a personalization and the work that I've been doing and that I do in the world completely fell away. So in other words, it needing to be about me fell away. The need for me to identify with that work, with the work that's coming, and all the work I've done this far, creatively, singing, songwriting, poetry, articles, books, all this stuff, art. Yes, inherently, it's about me. It came through me. Yet there's this shift that happened, and it was so slight and so subtle that I wouldn't have noticed unless I'd been meditating and was tuned in. And it was like, oh my God, identifying, personalizing and identifying myself as my work was so very exhausting and was so tiring. And because I identified so strongly with a lot of the qualities that I share, I often felt like this, well, I don't want to share because it's me and it's mine. And so this miser energy, it's very subtle. It's a tar body energy. This miser energy would pull these veils of illusion and would make me feel like I can't give it all away. I need to hold something for myself. And after all, this is mine, you know? And so even if we're spiritual and we're Reiki masters and we're whatever, there's these layers of how this stuff works. And just this last 2 weeks ago, it just fell away, where the identification of who I am needing to have a stamp and a seal of approval by what I do completely fell away. And that is what I'm getting that's in alignment and in attunement for you. Although it will be in a way that is natural for you and that will resonate, and you'll go, oh, this is how it's happening for me. Okay, because that's just an example of how it happened for me. I know another singer-songwriter who's going through that too, where she feels very, very overwhelmed at having deadlines, and all of a sudden, you know, you get a little bit of fame, and all of a sudden it's like you got to be a machine, and you got to crank this stuff out, and when's the next hit, and when are you going to do the next festival, and what are you going to, you know, it becomes a thing instead of it just being this natural creative process that inhales and exhales. And granted, there are goals, there are deadlines, and we want to eventually be productive and create a book or create an album or whatever it is. If we don't, you know, we might get too lazy and the thing will never happen. So yes, but there's also nature. There's this natural breath, this inhale, exhale, and not taking ourselves so seriously. And again, I say this often, it's like giving it to God, giving it to Source, giving it to that which is bigger, that is greater than us, to make the final decisions. You know, and that's what allows us to relax. And that's when we cannot take ourselves so seriously, or that allows us not to take ourselves so seriously, and bridges the space through which it's out of our hands and we've relinquished the way that we think we need it to happen in order to feel safe, in order to feel productive, in order to feel validated, in order to feel like the world's going to love me and that I'm going to be still a pop star or a best-selling author or whatever, all, you know, because you get into the wheel of all that world stuff, the 3D stuff, the matrix. And so this week is like break through, come back to your truth, right? Be as one. Keep something sacred for yourself, but give the rest away. Know that you don't have to give it all away. Wow, the breakthrough, the freedom, the liberation, the empowerment in that third dimension of your 3D self, in that third chakra of being able to be like, boom, here I am. Now I can walk in my true authority and power because I know that I can be and embody that which is my truth from a place of truth and integrity. And so now I can share. Now I can play. Now I don't have to take myself so seriously. And what happens? What happens is, boom, when we do that, abundance just rolls on through. And this is financial abundance. So there's a windfall of some kind. Maybe you play the lotto, you do a scratch card, maybe a family member gives you some money. Maybe just of your own accord, you get a whole bunch of beautiful clients that want to prepay for, you know, several sessions or whatever it can be. But there's going to be the possibility for a large financial gain is aligning itself during this week, 18th through the 26th of August, 2017. Why? Because look at you, depicted this in this card, much rainbow energy. There's very much a lot of grounding, restoration, relaxation. So when we are at one with the truth and we have that breakthrough and we allow ourselves to relax and to be playful and to share those gifts. And when we've released the need to identify as those gifts, they are gifts from God or gifts from Source, gifts from Creator, whatever name you may feel guided to give it. And it's just, you become a channel, right? In Reiki, I say, I am the faucet, not the water. We are the faucets, not the water. Like that with our gifts, talents, and abilities. And when we get that, my gosh, what happens is that you can actually chill out because it's not up to you. It's on God's watch. And so you can chill out and relax and know that everything is taken care of as long as you keep honoring the truth in your heart, which is the voice for God, which is the GPS that is navigated by your higher self that will always steer you right in alignment with the truth in your heart. So abundance is here. It's on its way. There is balance between the lunar and the solar energies. Your male and female energies are balanced. This individual sits on a book, if you can see that book. And what is that book? That book symbolizes the book of wisdom, the book of truth, the book of you writing your story from the truth in your heart, not the stories that you've been told of who you are by your family, your community, your cultures, and all that stuff. But this is the truth of who you are deciding to embody, of what you are deciding to embody, and how you are experiencing that and sharing that in the world. And this is a level of maturity by which, when you know who you are, what you are, you can chill. You know everything is taken care of because you're honoring that truth in your heart. Usually that's where most of the anxiety in the world comes from, is just because we're like, I know I should be doing something and I'm not doing it. What is it? It's the truth in your heart. Yeah, maybe you're not listening. Maybe you need to just chill out more and honor that and listen to that more, and then allow yourself to relax into it and know that everything is taken care of, which is so beautiful. Now, these last few cards are on a continuance of that. So we do see with the end of this Mercury retrograde, oh yeah, so this card is coming. There's that massive, massive eclipse, August 21st, that's going to happen in between all this. So this is, and it's on a new moon. So, and this eclipse, I'm not an astrologer, but I love astrology. This eclipse happens once, or it hasn't happened for 100 years. So unless you're 100 years old, this has never happened to you before. This is a time where we really get to eclipse out, finish, release, close the chapter on those parts of ourselves that we no longer wish to be with. You know, I'm pleased, I'm giving this to God, I'm giving this to Holy Spirit, or I'm just using this eclipse energy to eclipse out this addiction, you know, to whether it's sex, to whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, food, to people, places, things. I'm eclipsing out this feeling of unsafety in the world. I'm eclipsing out this inability to speak my truth. I'm eclipsing out my inability to create healthy boundaries. I'm eclipsing out poverty consciousness, you know, whatever it is. And speaking of that, I've started a little playlist. I don't have too much there yet, but I've started a little playlist on manifesting abundance, right? And abundance consciousness. And there's a nice little, it's about 7.5 minute abundance affirmations. I will put a link here. And it's just audio. And basically, it's just affirmations on creating abundance. And when we do that via repetition through the mind, that's how we create new subconscious patterning. Okay, so it's one of those things that if it resonates with you, you put it on and you just listen and you listen and you listen and you let yourself believe the truth that you are abundant and that you are taken care of. Anyway, so check it out, and if it resonates, please do listen to it, share it. So this card is really beautiful because I know there's some meteor showers happening this month as well, if you're out in the proper places to be able to see them. But this is a powerful card. Existence. We've had this a few times. This is you completely naked, living the truth of your heart, seeing a shooting star, and not needing to make a wish on it because everything is already met. All of the blessings you could ever imagine are already here. You can sit back, relax, and simply just watch that shooting star and acknowledge it for how beautiful it is, rather than feeling like, oh my God, there's a shooting star, I need to make a wish, and I'm going to wish for this and this and this and this and this. Not coming from lack consciousness, coming from abundance consciousness of like, wow, I am, therefore I receive, I exist, and that is enough. Everything is taken care of. But with that, what can happen during that eclipse is the final chunks. Remember, it was about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago now, where we had a big theme of letting go. And this is shedding skins. This is you are past the point of no return. It's a relationship that has been ending for a long time. And the separation process may be happening over very many months or even years. Maybe there's houses and cars and children and things that need to be appropriately dislodged and realigned and for the highest good, and who's taking care of this and who's taking care of that. And these are like the final wheels, that eclipse, honey child, final wheels of those letting go aspects within you, clicking to that new paradigm where you can actually be free. Now, it does come with the patience card. So what I'm feeling here is that even though those plans are being made, because it's retrograde, right, we can say, okay, you're going to take care of the dog on Thursday. Say if it's like a couple separating. You're going to take care of the dogs on Thursdays. I'm going to take care of Fridays. You're going to take the kids on to soccer on this day. And we're going to live apart, and, whatever all that might be. Yet, because it's retrograde, those plans that you make will possibly have to be recalibrated, in September, in the new month. So there's an invitation to practice patience and know that the plans that you're setting in motion now, whatever it is, regards to those aspects that you're letting go of, the emotional part of you, the emotional paradigm of your transformation now is saying yes, let go, cry, release with this eclipse energy, August 21st. Release it, let it go. And if you don't get it exactly on the 21st, you can still use this energy for several days before and after. And I know this is until the 26th, this tarot reading. So use that energy, use that eclipse energy. I release holding pain about this relationship in my heart. I release holding pain about this relationship in my knees or in my lower back. I release the need to hold back forgiving you or forgiving my ex. I release anger. I release fear over this situation. Just eclipse it, release it out. Let the tears fall. Let the purification happen. Go to water. Get in the water if you can. Take a bath. Let yourself release. It's so important. Knowing that the plans that you're putting into motion regarding what you are releasing may need another little revisitation just to recalibrate. And it's always for the highest good, not just for your highest good, but for their highest good too, whether it's a one-to-one there or a community, a family, a neighborhood there, right? It's always for the highest good. So anytime things need to be reworked, right, try to allow yourself to be okay with it, to be calm with it, and to bless it, and to release the need to control it. So here, what we have is this beautiful, what happens at the end of the week, by the 26th, the possibility for you to be journeying on a very different path from where you are now is powerful. See that tiny little person, that dot on the trail, going up the hill, that zigzag hill, up to source, up to the sun, all the way up to source. That's you on the path of self. And what this, right, that's you doing it for yourself. And basically what this card is letting us know is that through those things that we eclipse out, that we release, what happens is there is a whole new journey ahead for us, right? That's going to start to revealing itself. It's going to start to reveal itself at the end of this month. And I'm so looking forward to doing that tarot card reading from the 27th on into the beginning of September so we can have a look at that. But in the meantime, what comes next to traveling is this creativity card. This card is all about you connecting to source and creating from source. Look at those spirals. This is the spiral of creation. If you practice Reiki and you are a level 1 student, access the Choku-rei, get in tune with the Choku-rei, the spiral of creation, and bridge heaven and earth through your work, through that which you are called to embody. Bring it down. Use that new moon energy too. So The eclipse on the 21st is falling on a new moon. Use the moon energy if that's new to you. Simply connect and tune in and tell the moon what you are ready to release, what you are ready to release. And so that as those parts of the veil that you're releasing begin to just melt and dissolve away, what happens is that new journey, that phone call comes, that person reaches out to you all of a sudden out of the blue in a divine design, a synchronistic meetup happens, and this person says, you know what, we're looking for someone like you, or we could really use your talents in this situation, or whatever it might be. Just some door will open that leads you down a path that is completely different from that which you've been going down, but only as what you've released has dissolved. That's when you begin to see it in your world, right? And in yourself. Creativity is calling you to access the divine source, to bridge heaven on earth, to bring it down to earth in a creative ways. This traveling, this new journey is going to invite you to use your creative energy in ways you have not used it in a long time. So maybe you are an artist, a singer, a dancer, a video editor, something creative. Again, I always say like landscaper, right? Or a book writer, a teacher. There's so many infinite ways that you can be creative and share your creativity, but there's also so many ways that we can sort of dampen it and shut it down for a certain time. And there's certain times then where it opens back up, and this is the time where it's opening back up, and it's like, oh my God. And it's almost like, it was last week where, oh no, it's this week where we feel that we can get so overwhelmed because we have so many gifts and so many talents, so we decide to like hold it all in and not share it after all. And then once we figure out and we get that balance of what it is we do feel we're ready to share and what else can stay on the back burner or just keep sacred for ourselves, we have that huge breakthrough, right? That allows us to be in the world and not of it and channel those delicious gifts. And so this is a part of your new path. Are those delicious gifts being brought to the forefront, those ones especially that you feel, that you know, that you're ready to, dipping into them creatively and allowing that creativity to show you, right? There's a prayer in A Course in Miracles. Where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say, and to whom? Now that prayer is to God. What is God to you? Is it love? Is it light? Is it source? Is it creator? Do you call it universe? Whatever name you give it. But that's basically what it's saying, is it's like you're giving your creative actions, energies, and abilities to that which is greater than you, and you're saying, use me. Use me. Meditate, meditate, meditate. I am, therefore I receive. I exist, and that is enough. I am that I am, and so it is. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Namaste.